All right, man. So I'm going to walk you through the basics of how to both find good quality content for these roundups, as well as show you how to build something from scratch so you know exactly how to build it. And hopefully this video can act as a reference tool for you, as well as some written materials that I'm creating for this. So let's say, excuse me, let's say that your assignment is to find a roundup of 30 awesome waterfall pictures. Let me show you what I would start off with doing. And this is just my process. You can adapt your own to it. I just go to Google and I would say something like waterfall photos. And then I would immediately go to images. And then before doing anything else, scroll down a little bit and look up and click on this any size large. What this does, now look at this, I got over 7 million images here. So you've got plenty of graphics to work with. Now what you've done here is you filtered by large images, and this gives you the ability to, whenever you go click on one of these, like I'm going to open a new tab. When I go here, you can go to the actual site. No telling what I'm going to find here. Looks like it was, oh, it doesn't matter. We'll just grab one of these. Now, that doesn't look like a very big picture. So one of the things you can use in Chrome is go to open a new image. Great, that's great. That's just fantastic. Okay, open a new tab, and it opens it up. So, okay, this is a very large image. Now, you see how I did that? It opened it really small here. I went to open in new tab. Again, that's a Chrome feature. So anyway, here we are, and we've got this cool waterfall picture. So that's going to be our first one. Now I'm zoomed way out so that I've got my window kind of shrunk down so that you can see the whole window. Normally, although on my screen it would have been huge. And so anyway, we've got our photo here. Two ways you can go about doing this. You can right click and go copy image, which in this case, that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to flip over to Photoshop. And most of your graphics are going to be with a set width. And what that means in Photoshop, and this is going to be a brand new interface for you, is when you go File, New, let's say the width that you want to build is always going to be, let's say it's 500 pixels. Height, I go ahead and fix this as well, and let's just do 350. We will help you come up with all of the right image sizes that you need, and it'll be standardized, and it'll be the same thing every time. So you may not have to set this every time, other than just the first time you start one of these projects. So we're going to say OK, and here it gives us our image that we're going to be using. So I've already copied and pasted that image from that waterfall. You can either go edit, paste, or you can hit Control V. So we're going to paste it in there. Now notice how it's all kind of not right. So what you're going to do is use this tool up here. It's the move tool, or hit V. I'm going to hold down the alternate button and then use the scroll wheel to zoom out. And you can see the border where the image is. Now holding down the shift button, I'm going to drag until it's just about the right size. And then you have to hit enter to confirm your changes. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to show you another way to do this as well. Hold down shift, drag it in there, and to confirm your change, to confirm the size change. Oh, I don't know where it is in Photoshop. Then I just hit the enter button, and there it is. Down here, you can see how far I've zoomed out. I hit 100%. It zooms all the way back into for me. Now I'm going to go ahead and save this as if it were the very first file I created. So we're going to do Control-Alt-S. And what I did was I hit Control-Shift-Alt-S. It's the same thing as going to File, Save for Web. So I'm going to do it that way just so you can see it. Now this image is outside what you can see. Here's the whole thing just so you can see it all. And what we're going to do is up here, right now I'm going to say JPEG. I'm going to set my quality to 70. And then down here at the bottom, move this up here, you can hit save, and a save dialog opens up. You can tell I've been working on MMA Freak because that's the folder that shows up. I'm going to do this on desktop. Now, here's what I always recommend. Always put the project number in here. So I'm going to use a sample project number of 999. I'm going to do waterfalls. Then you're going to save it. Always increment your image names with 0, 1, or start with a 0. That's the key. And I like to have unique image names. So 0, 1, waterfalls. Save. And that saved it in a folder. I'll move this folder where you can see it. Here, it's Waterfalls folder on my desktop with Waterfalls 1. Now, that is step 1, and it's the most complicated step that you're going to have to mess with. So, but once you get good at it, it takes just a split second. And I'm going to move through it very quickly, really fast, just to show you how fast this can become for you. Let's find another waterfall graphic real fast. I'm just going to use this toilet bowl looking one. And it's got to download it first. Yay for loading. Oh, while it's thinking about crap, I'm going to go to a different one. Here's a cool waterfall one. Open a new tab. Website for this image. There it is. Now, I'm going to click it and see what happens. Okay, cool. It made it huge. We're going to do copy image. I'm going to zip over to Photoshop. I'm going to paste it on top of the current one. Zoom out. Resize. Hit enter, Control Alt Shift S, save, O2 waterfall, waterfalls 2. So now I have two waterfall images. All right, now I'm going to step away from Photoshop for a minute and show you now, because you need to be doing it as you go. You make an image, and then you need to make your HTML file for that. So here's what you do to make the HTML file. Open up Notepad, which is a really, this is Notepad, nothing too crazy here. All you do, we're going to create, this is a blank Notepad document. It hasn't been saved. All I did was open Notepad. Here's what you do, and I'm going to create a template file so you don't have to retype all this stuff. But you always start an HTML document off like this with these, see here, for you it is, oh, where is it? I don't know what it is for you. Oh, it's down in the bottom right hand of your keyboard. There's a little symbol for that. HTML, line space, body. And technically all you need to have an HTML document is now, this up here is called a tag, and it's an opening tag. And the way that you close a tag is you do a slash. You go body, and then slash HTML. Now everything in between here in this space, which you can make as big as or little as you want, is where you put the content for a website, or for a web page rather. So I'm going to go ahead and save this and show you what I recommend as far as the process goes. Now you go Control S, save it. And we're going to go to our 999 document, which is somewhere over here. There it is, waterfalls. Now you're going to save this as 999-waterfalls.html. That's critical. Make sure you have the .html in there. Now, I'm going to open this folder up so you can see it. See how it put, now we have an HTML document in there. I'm going to open that, and look, it's blank. So that's because there's nothing from a content standpoint in between those two body tags. So back over here, let's show you how this works. I'm just going to do a quick, no, I'm just going to keep it blank. Hey, Gabe. Now when I save this, I'm going to go over here, click refresh. See how it's got Hey Gabe? And that's how you build an HTML document. Now we're going to get a little more complicated, but don't worry about it. For this particular website, what they want every one of these images that you have, that you're going to come up with, to have a title. And here's how you make a title. You go H3, that stands for heading 3, title. And you close your title tag, like that. Now, they want a link. And the way that you make a link is you always start it with A. And then, I don't know why HTML starts with an A for a link. That doesn't make any sense to me, but that's the way it works. Then you tell the HTML document where this link should go. You do that with href equals. In this case, we're just going to use a little trick called a pound sign, and that just means don't go anywhere. Don't worry about this part yet. I'll explain it later. I just want to make sure you have a complete working document. And then you close it. And instead of using, well, let's go ahead and start with an image. So this is how you tell an image. Then you tell it where to find the image. And in this case, it's going to be 01 waterfalls.jpg. Now, note that I have a quote here and a quote here. You have to have those. Anytime there's an equal sign in HTML, make sure it's followed with an open quote and a close quote. You don't close image tags. Like, for example, you don't go /img. It's unique. It's the only kind I think you'll have to work with that don't close. So the way that you close an image tag is you do a dash there. Now, because we started with an AH, we close with an AH. I'm sorry. Yeah, A. Sorry, not H. And that's it. Now let me show you what happens here. We're going to save it. I hit Control S. Now it's going to refresh this page. Bam. We have the image with a link. See how I've got the arrow, the hand symbol for a link is there. And we have our title up here, and it's automatically bolded and everything else the way that it should be. So I need to teach you, though, how to document where you got this image from the right place. So we got it from this page, which is still screwing up. And we don't know what the name, other than it says waterfall. That's okay. So let's go ahead and change the title to waterfall. Now we need to update this little anchor text here, the link, to the proper place. And that is newspaper.li/waterfall. So you highlight this whole thing and go copy. I'm going to go back over to Notepad. And you're just going to paste it in. You can just do Control V or right click, paste, whatever you want to do. Now let's save it. We'll go back over to our document, refresh it. Now our title says waterfall, and our image here, when we click it, it goes to the waterfall page where we got it. And that is really all that you have to do for each one of these images. Let me show you the rest of this Word document, how it would look. I recommend in between each one of these putting a space just so you can see it. Let's do H3. And let's see where we found our other cool waterfall image. Here it is. We're going to go back. And I don't see a title other than you can see when I hover the mouse over it, it says waterfall mist. You could also use this title, the return of waterfall development. The point is, give it some kind of similar title on the page. That's just a common courtesy. So I'm going to use waterfall mist. So we're going to go over to our HTML document. We're going to make a new one. Start over for you. H3 waterfall mist /H3 a href equals. And now let's get our URL. Copy. Sorry about that. It's acting up. I'm going to paste it in. Now we always have our target. Now this target part is telling the HTML browser, Chrome, to open it up in a new window. That's all that little code means. Now we're going to say we want this to be an image. The source for the image equals O2 waterfalls.jpg. Close the quote. Close the image. Close the link. And I'm going to do Control S. Look at our file. Refresh. Now we have 2. Pretty freaking glorious. Now look. Notice too that these images are the same exact height and the same exact width. That's just a professionalism thing that we do. You don't have to do it like this. It's possible to, let me just show you. Let's just get a third one and I'll show you another way that you can do this. We're going to pick a random file. We're going to go here. I'm going to go full size image. Let it finish downloading. All right, I'm going to copy image. Let's go over to Photoshop. Another way that you can do this is you go Control N to open a new file, and it'll automatically use the preset image size from the clipboard, the one that we just copied, that waterfall image. You hit OK. Then you do either Edit, Paste, or Control V. I'm a hotkey kind of guy. Now, you can also resize images by going Image, Image Size, or Alt-Control-I, and this little dialog pops up. Make sure down here it says Constrain Proportions, and then only type in the width that we need. Okay. Control-Alt-Shift-S, save, O3 waterfalls, save, and we're going to go over here. You can do copy paste with this. Let me find the name of this file. We're going to go website for this image. Waterfall digital photography. Hover the mouse. Let's see if it has a name. It doesn't, so we're going to use waterfall digital photography. You can just copy and paste it. If there is a photographer's name present, which there isn't here, but I'll go ahead and use it. Here's how you would look. Here's how you would make that look. I'm going to paste that in, and you'd say by some photographer, which hopefully you'd use that guy's name. Or sometimes they don't use a name; they use like a screen name. It's fine. Use the screen name. Now we're going to get the HTML. Copy. We're going to replace this link here. And I'm going to change this. Oops. Sorry, the screen was jacking up on me. We'll go here. I changed that to image number 3 now. Hit Control S to save it. Let's go back over to our document. I'm going to refresh it. There it is. Now this bottom one now is taller than the top one, the one above it. Again, we prefer to use a consistent screen size, but I just wanted to show you a different way to resize an image just so you could learn some of those Photoshop tools. So let's stop it here. You actually have a document now that you could work with. The next step that you would do would be to zip it. So you'd right click. I use a file thing called pzip. You can use send to compressed zip folder and just hit save, and then you can okay, it did it for me, and then you would just email me that zipped file, and that's all you have to do. So I'm going to make another video now that uses a template file that I'll send you and show you how to use that specifically, but you can reference this video anytime you want to zip around and like see the process from scratch. All right, man, good luck and have fun, and always don't hesitate to ask questions.